Commissioners, I'd like to call the meeting to order and let the record show that all members are present except Jessica Lawler. And if everyone's had a chance to look at the minutes from the September 4th meeting, I'd entertain a motion to approve the minutes.
I move that we approve the minutes from the September meeting.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed? Motion carried. Under old business this evening, we have Kevin Krulik with project updates.
Good evening. Go through project updates around the city. A lot still going on. Let's see. First thing, maybe update you on that. I know you're not too involved with this, but we're working on possibly a reconstruction of the ditch on the north end of Chadwick so that it will drain better. But unfortunately, that ditch is old enough that it falls under the jurisdiction of the Waters of the U.S. Legislation under the control of the Army Corps of Engineers. So we met with the Army Corps of Engineers this week, and we met with some people from IDEM, and basically saying we want to make this drain better and not be such a mosquito-growing eyesore out there. They won't let us pipe it and let it completely go away. So what they're proposing we could do would be to relocate it to the north, make it meander more like a natural stream, kind of create then a conservation area back there. I don't know what will come of this. We're in the very early stages of this, but that could become another natural area that may someday be in our park inventory. So just a heads up on that we're working through that with a couple members of City Council and the Chadwick residents, as well as the Army Corps of Engineers and the Indiana Department of Environmental Management. So just want to give you an update there so you know what's happening. Other projects around the city, probably the next major project that involves some park improvements would be Fordyce Street. The construction there continues. Bring that up because it will include a path connection from the East Street path out to the new Central Elementary School. Primarily right now we're putting storm sewer in the ground. We have been for about 2 weeks. Got another 2 to 3 weeks more of storm sewer. It's going right down the middle of the road, so this is the most disruptive time of construction. The road is still closed through traffic, but we're keeping it open, obviously, for the people that live in that area. But a lot going on there. Still planning to have that trail ready for when the kids go back to school or go to school at Central in the fall of 25. Let's see, Noble Street, since we last met, we've nothing really major has happened there, but we have got the approved contracts from NDOT, and NDOT has requested the funding for our purchase order for the reimbursement of the engineering, or at least 80% of the reimbursement. So we'll be moving forward with the design on that probably towards the end of the year. That will include obviously trail connections, improvements to Hot Pond and Abner Longley Park, additional drainage improvements associated with the old Conservation Club pond. So a lot of work will be happening there, but that's not till 2029, 2030 before that program kicks off. Active living program, just want to bring that up. You might have noticed that some of the wayfinding signage that was complete has been taken down. No, it did not get blown down in the storm over the weekend. Those are some repairs that are being done by Signworks to take care of some punch list items on some of the some dents and dings we had during the installation of that they're redoing. So that's why some of the active living wayfinding signage is now down. Other true park projects, we're just putting the finishing touches on Stone Eater Bike Park. I have to report that we went to the BZA, the county BZA last week, and we did receive our approvals for variances on the monument sign. So we have now fully put the monument sign as well as the information kiosk into production, and they should be here next week for installation of bases and foundations. and then the week after for the installation of those final signs. We had a big Lily cleanup day out there last Thursday. Also coincided with Fluor Construction donated another 2 triaxle loads of boulders from the Lily site. Those boulders will be placed around the bases of those signs when they come in. So not really more writing features, just more decorative elements to the park that will be going into place. Portalet enclosure, Capital City Fencing is under contract and is expected to start construction this week or next on the Portalet enclosure there, as well as other Portalet enclosures around the city. Summers Fencing is out there on site. They have a lot of fence posts up around the entrance where we're doing about 500 feet of 3-board treated lumber fencing. And then we'll be doing woven wire fencing to the north, so we completely close the perimeter of the park, at least on the sides away from the golf course where access is more open. We're also happy to report, we've had a couple things come in under budget. The trail signage came in under budget, so we're working on new water service to be installed out there so that the maintenance crews will have access to water for their maintenance operations. And we're also then waiting on delivery on some of our grant awarded materials, recycled materials from the Boone County's solid waste district that will include a picnic table, picnic shelter, and a couple of trash cans. Grand opening planning continues, working with Taylor and John and the Parks Department as well as the Mayor's Office to plan that grand opening for October 25th. So October 25th is the date. 10 a.m. will be the grand opening. The rest of the day will look like kind of an open house. We're trying to arrange opportunities for people to come out and try the trails, which will include hopefully partnering with local bike shops that would supply loaner bikes. People want to come out and experience that, as well as some other fun activities that we're trying to nail down. And then that leads up to Saturday and Sunday, the first race that we'll hold out there. And then Monday, the 28th, the park is completely open to the public at that point. Should have all the signage in place by then, should have the information kiosk and the monument sign, as well as all those other projects I mentioned. Those small projects should be buttoned up in the next 2 weeks. Pickleball courts, the reconstruction of the pickleball courts at Memorial Park and Abner Longley Park. The bidding package is now been published. We'll open bids at the Board of Works meeting on October 28th. This will be for spring, summer construction in 2025. Fishing pier, if you haven't been out to the fishing pier, it's coming along. As of this morning, excuse me, I didn't make it back out to see the progress for the day, but as of this morning, all the framing was in and they were starting the decking process. So they got to finish the decking, put the railings around it. We're also coordinating with Joe Wilson, our site concrete contractor, to install the walk down to the pier in the coming days, and that should be open here. I would say probably give us another 2 to 3 weeks, and we should be able to put the finishing touches on that. Big Four Trailhead, the Portalet enclosure is also on that same schedule with Capital City Fencing. And I'm happy to report that we put the parking improvements back out for quoting. Those are due a week from Monday on the 14th. And we'll hopefully have some good news there and be able to move that parking lot reconstruction forward. Reese Park improvements, really where we've got a Portalet enclosure going in there, as well as the additional fencing along the new parking. Those are both being done by the same contractor. The low bid contractor was Capital City Fencing, and that should be starting any day now, but I have not got a confirmation on schedule. And then I think that's probably it. Oh, there's 2 additional Portalet enclosures I didn't mention. Abner Longley Park near the dog park and the Hot Pond Park. Those Portalet enclosures are going in on existing pavement. And again, those will be done by Capital City Fencing and be installed in the next couple of weeks. That's about it. Anderson Lane, the curbs have wrapped up on the islands as well as the path. All the milling and resurfacing is now complete. There's still a lot more work to do. There's some additional handicap ramps that have to go in, some additional curbing that has to go in. There are the parking or the trail delineator markers that will go down on the top of the curb. There's a lot of striping, a lot of painting that goes in. So I think some of the some of the confusion people have with how they navigate that area will be solved as some of those final touches get put in with the striping and the traffic delineators. So that's coming up here shortly. Up in the Leap District, just mention Whit Road South because it does include extensive additional bike paths being constructed. Essentially, we are up out of the ground at this point. Base layers of asphalt have been installed. Curbs have all been installed. Paving is coming in next week. And we'll be wrapping that project up here as we get into winter. And that's all I have for project updates.
Question for you, Kevin.
Yeah.
On the Anderson Lane project that I know I've been reading some of the
Sure.
comments and everything. Can you help help me and maybe understand that, how that very narrow area is on the far east end? It looks like you kind of have to come down.
Yeah, so when you get to the east end, you're right. The existing curb that was already there and the new curb that creates the bike lane, they converge as they go around the corner onto Elm Swamp Road to the north. And what you can't see right there is there'll be a curb that closes off that narrowing area and directs traffic to go across the street to the south. So anybody that is on that trail would be directed south where we have additional sidewalks further south on Elm Swamp, or they could cross Elm Swamp right there. And as Angelique Gardens goes in, there will be a path going to the north at that location. Someday we will take out that narrowed curb section and build a path to the north on that west side of the road up to, say, 300 North. But right now, we just don't have any right-of-way there to be able to build anything at this time. But that narrowed section will make a lot more sense as we put the finishing touches on with the ramps, with the curbs, with the traffic delineators. That will clearly tell people that they're not to navigate into that narrow section. They are to stop there and take a right turn.
So if you're on a bike and you're traveling north and want to go west onto that trail, do you have to go further north past it first?
No. You will. So if you're coming, say, north on Elm Swamp Road, whether you're riding on the sidewalk or you're riding in the pavement, you will go to the crosswalk on the southwest corner, so the corner of Gulfside neighborhood, and you'll cross Anderson Lane to the north and enter into the trail.
Okay. You don't have to funnel into that.
No.
Shoot. Oh, okay.
No.
Okay. I was trying to visualize all
Yeah,
that.
it'll make more sense when we finish it up. So yeah.
I'm not being critical. I
understand.
was trying to understand.
I understand. Yeah, it's hard to understand where we're going, sometimes. So
I think it'll be very well used.
thank you.
And appreciated for safety.
Thank you. We're hoping it slows traffic down there. I don't know if I've mentioned to this group, but we did a speed study on that road a couple of years ago as part of our traffic impact study, and we were clocking traffic going at 84 miles an hour on that road. So
I bike that area quite often, and it's.
I mean, the reality is there was 36 to 48 foot of pavement out there. Your typical traffic lane is 11 to 12 feet. But there were only 2 traffic lanes there. But with that much pavement, you felt really comfortable driving faster because you had plenty of room to correct and maneuver. So really, what we're doing there about adding the trail is, 1, just to add a trail, but 2, that also narrows the road. The medians in the center also narrow the road and give you the visual and subconscious feeling that you need to slow down. And so we're hoping that's what will happen there. The lanes might seem a lot narrower from what you're used to, but the smallest travel lane up there will be 14 feet. Lanes on I-65 are 12 feet. We took a lot of heat for narrowing the square. The square lanes are 11 and a half feet. So still 14 foot, plenty of room to maneuver and drive at speed. But I think with the visual obstructions of the trail, the traffic delineators on the edge of the trail, the striping, the islands in the center, you'll subconsciously feel like you need to be slowing down, and that's what we want people to do. Anything else?
Any other questions? No?
Thank you.
Thank you, Kevin. Okay, is there any new business to come before the board? No? Okay, then we'll go right into the director's report.
Good evening. We have power washed all the shelters, restrooms, entryways, removed all the trees. Uh, uh, Total from Memorial Park, Abner, Arboretum, Hot Pond, and Cons Club. Obviously, that hurricane that came up blew a lot of stuff down, and it just happened the day after Eli Lilly was here, and we had 300 volunteers. So the park was real clear, and it's back to, we've been working at that, trying to get caught up. We sprayed all the parks in Gene Haas and DPW with weed control, and we're currently core aerating, going right behind the mowers with core aeration, and then we'll follow up with seeding in areas and then fertilizing, taking care of our sports fields and all the parks. As I was saying, we had 300 Lilly volunteers. They came out last week along with the CEO of Eli Lilly. They put in about 1,200 man hours, and jobs range from cleaning pool chairs, putting those away for the winter, trimming bushes, transplanting plants downtown. Also thinned out those plants. Picked up sticks and trash at the Arboretum, also cleaned up the bike park at Abner Longley, Memorial Park and the Big Four Trail. Also, Lily painted restrooms in the softball building, also down at Abner Longley. They deep cleaned the playground equipment along with many other tasks. I thanked Mr. Ricks for his leadership and commitment to our community. Also thanked the volunteers who gave their time and energy to help improve our park system and transform those spaces so everybody can enjoy it. They helped us create a more beautiful, vibrant, and welcoming environment for everybody to enjoy, and I just can't thank them enough. We're so very thankful to have them as a partner in our community. We will be pulling the fountains out to winterize those for next year. Both the pools and the splash pad, along with our irrigation system at Gene Haas, at the Ball Diamond, and also the pool have all been winterized. Lastly, we have a survey for the proposed park at the old street department location. Please help us out by filling our survey. There again, you can find it on our Facebook site. Also Lebanon site. We will have a tent set up at the LHS football game versus Weibo on October 18th, and we'll be manning it. And again, at Mischief on Meridian, where you can also fill out a survey. Programs and events. Our fall pickleball league is almost done. We have 2 more weeks until it's complete. Teams are doing great and having fun. Crossroads Corvettes hosted their car show on Saturday, September 14. It was extremely, really hot, but they had a good turnout, and they've already reserved for next year. Colonial Market Days was held at Abner Longley Park on September 21st, 22nd. They lucked out on Saturday with no rain, but unfortunately did have some on Sunday. I don't think there's been one year that they've gone without rain, I tell you. But I talked to Casey Sampson, who leads that, and I couldn't believe the number. I think he told me 150 kids went through the education program on Friday, and real thrilled about that. They do a nice job and give you some history with that too. Guests and participants still had a great time. Lebanon Lincoln Day Civil War reenactment took place last weekend. And of course, that's right, when hurricane weather came in, small turnout. And unfortunately, they had to battle some bad weather due to the hurricane. They still had several participants and did the blast the best with the nasty weather that we had. Again, I had my phone was blowing up with the cannons going off and what's going on. It's rattling the house. And yeah, that every Saturday and Sunday, 2:00 for about 15 minutes. But there again, Willie from the 44th Fighting Tennessee called me, and he was in town. So 17 years, I think that guy's been here. So it is a nice event. Our 2024 Pumpkins in the Park event will be held this year on Saturday, October 26th. Takes place in Memorial Park from 11 to 2, and guests can enjoy pumpkin painting, s'mores, making kettle corn, hay rides, and more. We'd like to give a special thank you to John Lastly Outdoor Solutions for donating all the pumpkins, the Lebanon IGA for donating all the s'mores items, and Journey in the Jet Band will be back again this year for live music. Also want to thank Timmons Feed and Farm for letting us borrow some straw. They're always, all these people just are awful nice to help us out. Refugee Coffee will be there to serve delicious fall drinks as well. Cost us $5 per person, and we hope to see everybody there and have some nice weather. We have announced our date for Christmas in the Cabin and the Christmas parade. It will take place on Saturday, December 7th. Christmas in the Cabin is from 9:30 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. And the Christmas parade will begin at 6 p.m. Follow our social media and website for more information. Carriage rides will be released around the 1st of November. Attached are comparative charts of Seashore Water Park over the past 7 summers. Had another good year this year, and look forward to 2025 season. There again, I don't share all the information there. Obviously, with the numbers, I share it with you. Are there any questions that you have about our numbers that we have for the Seashore Water Park? I know to open up this year. I saw our attendance. I'll go through that. I won't tell the financials, but we were open 70 days at full capacity. Full capacity, that is 650. Total visitors, we had 34,918. The residents that we clocked in coming in and out were 17,974. Our non-residents were 13,861. There again, twilight, we had 3,080, and that's after 4 o'clock. So there was quite a few families coming in after that. Our numbers were down a little bit from last year, I see. The last couple of years, they've been down a little bit, but I think that all has to do with weather. We open even in cold, nasty stuff, if you recall. The start of this year, it was cold, wet, nasty. Then all of a sudden it turned to 90 degrees overnight. So we had a good run for a while. And after that, so take into consideration that the days open are 70, but some of those days were, we had 5-10 people in the pool. And again, once temperatures reach 70 degrees, we open the gates, and the kids were really eager. I thought they all did a good job. We had many saves where they'd pull kids out. Our lifeguards just did an outstanding job, and our managers, and can't say enough. I will say also one thing, disc golf, Billy Smith has been working really hard on getting that up and going. We have 4 more baskets, I think 6 total to get in. We're still waiting on 2 baskets to come in, but we've had a lot of help with volunteers from Indy Disc Golf, and several of those guys are local. We've kind of moved the baskets around, and I think this is going to be good. We can hold professional disc golf tournaments at this course, and just a lot of hard work by Billy and the maintenance staff, and I want to thank him very much for all the hard work set us up. Again, Lily, 1,300 hours or 1,200 hours roughly that they donated in time. This is the second year. I can't tell you, that's 3 weeks of work, over 3 weeks of work with our staff that we have that got done in less than a day. So can't tell you how much and how important that is, and helps out our community all the way around. And that's my report. Any questions?
Yeah.
Any questions for John? No? Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, any other things to come before the board this evening? I'd entertain a motion to approve the claims.
So moved.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed, motion carried. And if there's nothing else to come before the board tonight, I'd entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
I have a motion to adjourn. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed, motion carried. Thank you for joining us this evening.